What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 8, Queen versus Queen. So let's get into it. So we are still in Miami. Can you believe it? It is still day one. This is still the day that they arrived in Miami, and we have been through the trenches with these women. So Ashley believes that Mia was the one that was primarily at fault. It seems like Ashley puts no blame on Wendy at all. She puts all the blame on Mia, as she should, because Mia was definitely 100% the instigator. And whatever Wendy said or did after that drink was thrown at her was completely in self-defense. And that's just, the art of war. When someone is going to come and attack you like that, like physically attack you, and in this case, it was Mia throwing that drink on Wendy. Wendy can say whatever the hell she wants to say. She can talk about her husband. She can talk about me as mama. She can talk about me as kids. I don't care. It does not matter. Once that drink was thrown in her face, all gloves were off. Okay, let's rumble and roll. If you want to do this, let's do this. So Karen, on the other hand, she thinks that both women were at fault. And that really bothers me, because I don't see how Wendy can be at fault when she didn't instigate anything. It wasn't like the two were having a discussion and then the discussion went left. It was Mia saying her BS about Peter and Wendy's business dealings, talking about something that had absolutely nothing to do with her. Talking about something that had nothing to do with her. And then, because I don't know what was going on, then she throws that drink in her face. So this was not a fair fight. It did not start off as two people who were coming into battle, who were both knowing what was going to be happening. It was her sneaking in an attack on Wendy, catching Wendy off guard, and Wendy just defeating herself. So it doesn't matter what Wendy said. It doesn't matter what Wendy said. Mia started all of this by that little sneak attack that she did on her. So it was all gloves off at that point, like I already said. So Karen, missed me with the whole, it was both of their fault. No. So Karen in her confessional says that, Mia gets on my case for not having her back, but did she have my back when she invited Cherise to my birthday celebration? Good point, Karen. So Wendy wants to also leave. Ashley goes to talk to Wendy. And I thought that Ashley was, we all have our issues with all of these women, including Ashley. But I thought that Ashley was siding on the right side of history. Her trying to console Wendy, checking on Wendy, I thought was, a good thing. So Mia, Giselle, and Robin, they all rode in one car. All of them said that Karen should have done more to diffuse the situation. And I was like, huh? What do y'all want Karen, 59-year-old Karen and her frail bones, what do y'all want her to do when you have this, 6'8" woman throwing drinks, being extremely aggressive, coming out of left field with all of this animosity and all of this aggression? What the hell did you expect 59-year-old Karen to do? I mean, I thought that was just so low of them to be like, well, Karen should have done more because she was sitting in between them. Oh my God. So Mia says that she would have defended Ray, but Karen was not defending Gordon. Defending Gordon against what? Because Wendy said that her and her husband sleep with men and women. I guess implying that Gordon was also sleeping with men as well. I don't know. But sweetheart, if it's not true, why does it bother you? Like, why did it trigger you so much if it's not true? And y'all were in the middle of a fight. It wasn't like, it wasn't like Wendy was giving a speech somewhere and said, oh, by the way, I know for a fact that Gordon sleeps with men. Why that would be the only thing that would be insultive about that isn't the fact that he's sleeping with men. It's the fact that he is going outside of his marriage behind his wife's back. Now, I just had to put that in there. So the fact that, Mia was so triggered when Wendy said that, you and your husband sleep with both men and women. If it's not true, if your husband is not sleeping with other people, whether they're men or women outside of the marriage, why does it bother you, Mia, if it's not true? I don't get it. Or are you afraid that because of the way he carries himself, that people would believe that he is sleeping around on you, whether it's with men or women, whatever? You think that, oh my God, I don't want people to think that Gordon is cheating on me, because he actually is, because of how he moves, his whole demeanor kind of screams, I'm wilding out on my marriage. Like, I don't understand why Mia was so triggered by that if it's not true. So we're back at the house, and Wendy decides that she's going to go get a hotel, and Ashley helps her pack up her stuff and leave for the night. So the next day, Robin is calling home, checking on her kids and the homie Juan, and she finds out that the homie Juan had overslept that day and did not take the kids to school, which is extremely ironic because last season Juan completely berated his homie Robin because she had overslept during the pandemic and didn't make, and she wasn't there to make sure that the kids were signed on to their online classes. Now here he is doing the same exact thing. Moving on from there. So they're having breakfast and they're talking about what happened the night before. And Ashley says that she does not condone violence, which is funny because, the whole joke about, or whatever, how she doesn't condone violence. But when Candace and Monique were going at it, and Monique was dragging Candace by her hair like a rag doll, Ashley vouched for Monique and was on Monique's side when Monique needed witness statements or whatever to boost her side of the situation. She was all up on Monique's side and willing to do whatever she needed to do for Monique to help Monique win that case against Candace. But she's very much against violence. So Giselle says in her confessional that Ashley just, blows wherever the wind takes her. She's just all over the place. But it's like, okay, but so are you. Because with the whole Monique and Candace situation, Giselle, you were against Monique for putting her hands on Candace, but in this situation, you're okay with Mia throwing drinks and purses at Wendy. So you're also blown in the wind. You're also all over the damn place. So Candace arrived the night before, and when she had arrived, Robin had got her caught up on everything, but didn't get her caught up on the truth, because the way that Robin presented the story, she made it seem like, Mia was the victim and Wendy was the aggressor. She was extremely biased towards Mia, and she had all of her video footage and whatever, and her video footage was just Wendy, it was just all Wendy, showing Wendy yelling and screaming and shouting at Mia. But I don't know if she caught any of the things that Mia had done to Wendy, like the drink. Obviously, she didn't catch that because that was when everything started, or when Mia was throwing her purse at Wendy. So it was a very biased storytelling. But Candace was able to peep game, and she understood that really it was Mia's fault, not so much Wendy. And not just because Wendy is her girl, but because that's what the truth shows. That's the facts of the case. So Candace is very triggered, and she starts crying because it's very reminiscent of what happened to her and Monique. And Candace says that she doesn't like how Wendy is being ostracized, and Candace believes that it should have been Mia that had left the house. But baby girl, Mia paid for the house, so Mia ain't going nowhere. Robin says in her confessional that they were both wrong. Both Mia and Wendy were wrong. And so the producer says, but you were more on Mia's side. And Robin says, yeah, because I just don't like Wendy. And she thought that was just so cute and funny. It just shows how much of an idiot you are, Robin, because instead of looking at the cold hard facts, you're going to let your emotions and your feelings and your biases dictate to you, whose side to be on. So then Ashley calls Wendy. She checks on Wendy. Wendy said that her voice was hoarse because she had been crying all night. And that made me really sad because even though, Wendy tries to present as a very strong woman that can handle anything, she's this warrior princess and nothing can get her down. I know that she must have felt just a tiny bit sad that all the girls were in one house and she was in this hotel by herself. She was the one that was victimized, but she's the one that's in this hotel by herself. And she probably felt like nobody was on her side. Nobody had her back, and she probably did feel alone. And in the real world, if somebody threw a drink on me, I'm out of there. I'm going back home. But in this situation, because this is her job, to film these scenes, she couldn't go anywhere. She had to stay and fulfill her duties and, film these scenes with these people. So, to protect herself, to protect her safety, she went ahead and stayed at this hotel. And it just made me really sad to hear that. So Candace, Karen, and Ashley, they all encouraged Wendy to come to the beach celebration that Mia had planned for Karen's birthday. And surprisingly, Wendy agreed. And she was like, sure, I'll be there. So then Karen gives Mia the heads up that she, as the birthday girl, had made the executive decision to invite Wendy to the beach celebration. And Mia was like, absolutely not. You can do whatever you want to do with Mia on your own time, but she's not going to be at that beach celebration. So then Karen has to go back and disinvite poor Wendy to the beach celebration, but promises her that they're going to have a chance to spend time later. So Mia feels very betrayed by Karen because, Karen invited Wendy to this beach celebration, and she feels like Karen is siding with the person that insulted her husband, because Wendy said that you and your husband sleep with both men and women, which is like, girl, I've said this 1,000 times before. I'm beginning to sound like a broken record. Mia, that's how you presented your marriage. Like it was some, free for all. Everybody does whatever the hell they want to do, like y'all were swingers or something. And now somebody throws it back in your face and now you're offended. Like Gordon is, some pious, conservative guy who only has eyes for his wife and wouldn't dare look at another woman, even though, he was slithering his tongue in and out of his mouth when he was looking at Karen. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So, and then also, like, if Mia believes that Wendy was insinuating that Gordon sleeps with men, I mean, I didn't catch that. I didn't get that from what Wendy said, but evidently, Mia did. If that's what she was insinuating, if it's not true, then Mia, what's the problem? Or if your husband is not sleeping around on you at all with men or women, then why were you so damn triggered? You need to take some lessons from Ashley, because no matter what anybody had ever said about Michael, Ashley always kept it cool, calm, and collected. And she was just like, Ashley would be like, you would tell her the worst things about her husband. He was caught doing this. He was on a video doing that. And Ashley's like, well, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So you need to take a page out of Ashley's book and just be like, yeah, it's not true, Wendy. I don't know what you're talking about, or whatever the situation is. But for you to be so like butthurt about the things that Wendy said after you attacked her, because in the game of war, all gloves are off. You come and you attack someone. It doesn't matter if they come talking about your spouse, your mother, your children, your feet, your face, your whoever, your dog, your neighbors. It doesn't matter. All gloves are off. Wendy has the right to hit below the belt because you attacked the woman. And you're lucky that she was only attacking you with words. Karen then calls Wendy and withdraws her invitation to the beach celebration. And then all the women take shots and they take limes. They take a shot and then they, take the lime thing. I don't drink, so I don't know anything about this. So they do the lime thing, and Candace didn't take the lime. And then she says to the other women, limes are for bitches. And she was directing that directly towards Robin and Giselle. And so Robin was offended by that, and she was like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you're saying that to me. And she said she had nothing to do with the whole situation. And it's kind of like, what? You were the one that was antagonizing, your favorite word. You were antagonizing Wendy. You were telling her, you were making her feel like that she was doing something wrong by defending herself, telling her that she needed to stop antagonizing Mia. You were antagonizing Wendy by telling her to stop antagonizing Mia. What do you mean you had nothing to do? And you also pulled out your phone to record only Wendy. You didn't record nothing that Mia did. You're only recording Wendy stuff and constantly berating Wendy and said nothing to Mia. So what do you mean you were not involved at all? Anywho, so Ashley, Karen, and Candace, they decide they're going to go and check on Wendy. So before they drive off, because Mia and the other women were going to go to the beach and Ashley, Karen, and Candace were going to go see Wendy. So before they left, Mia leaves her car. This is how much energy she gave this. She got out of her car, climbing over everybody's feet, everybody's legs, crawls out of the car, goes to the car that Ashley and them are in, and tells them, well, since you're going to go see Wendy, when you come back, you're going to have to find other accommodations. accommodations. And so Ashley was like, excuse me? You're the queen of petty for that. You're gonna kick us out of your house because we're gonna go check on Wendy. And this did not apply to Karen though, because she was the birthday girl, and also because Karen had given her the heads up of what they were doing. But because Candace and Ashley did not give Mia the heads up, she was gonna kick them out of the house. She's so extremely unnecessarily petty. And I mean, if I was Gordon, I'd be drinking too all the time if I was married to Wendy. I mean, if I was married to Mia. So moving on. So Ashley, Karen, Candace, and Wendy, they all meet up at the restaurant. And Wendy said that she had talked to Peter, and Peter had told her that him and Wendy and Gordon don't roll like that. At one point, yes, they were friends, but evidently Mia had done something wrong to whoever his girlfriend was at the time. And so from that point on, Peter really stopped fooling with Mia and Gordon. So they don't really roll like that, like the way, because I felt like I felt like Mia was trying so hard, the night of the dinner, the night of the fight. She was trying so hard to make it seem like her and Peter are just the best of friends, and they go all the way back, and that's her boy and she's his girl, and they're just like two peas in a pod. But in actuality, Peter was like, no, it ain't nothing like that. Yeah, I used to hang with them. They were cool. We were all cool at one point. But after she did what she did to my girl, I had to cut it loose. So Mia, what are you talking about? So back to the light skins and Charisse. They're telling Mia that she had gone too far with kicking out Ashley and Candace, that she had gone too far. So Charisse takes it upon herself to send a group text to everybody saying that, hey, Mia had a temporary lapse in judgment. She was temporarily insane when she said that y'all couldn't come back to the house. Y'all can definitely come back, and we're just all gonna have a good time. So while they're frolicking on the beach, Robin is checking out Mia's body because she's trying to detect some lumps. And it's like, this is the girl that you're writing so hard for. You're writing so hard for Mia in her wrong actions, her wrong behavior. You're writing, just because you don't like Wendy, you're writing so hard for Mia. But at the same time, you're discrediting her illness or whatever's going on with her. You're completely discrediting it by checking out her body, trying to see if you can find any lumps. I mean, sometimes I don't know if Mia is being truthful or not. I don't know. I really don't know. But just because you don't see them with the naked eye doesn't mean that they're not there. Like, what the hell are you expecting to see? Like, she's carrying like apples or something underneath her skin. Like, I don't know what you're expecting to see, Dr. Robin Dixon. But if she's lying, whatever. The fact that, you don't believe her, but that's your girl, and you're gonna, anyways, moving on. So while they're on the beach, some young guys are walking by, and they call them over so that they can take a group picture of them. And Robin, I mean, she was so hands-on with one of those young 21-year-old boys. She had her hands all over him, and it was just like, girl, control yourself. You're about to be married soon, right, to the homie Juan. And I mean, the way that she knows that she's on camera and she's got her hands, I mean, she could not stop touching this boy for nothing. She was touching his shoulders, his arms, checking out his muscles. It was just embarrassing. And I know that she didn't care what the homie thought, because the homie Juan probably don't give a damn, because this is not a real relationship. But let's move on. So Candace and Wendy, they go to the studio to, hang out with Trina. That was nice. And moving on from there, everybody's back at the house, and Jacqueline tells Karen that Mia wants to talk to her. So Karen goes upstairs, and Mia says that she did not want to host the white birthday party for Karen because Karen had chosen to go see Wendy when Mia had planned that whole beach thing for Karen, and Karen wasn't even there. And so she's like, I don't think I need to host your birthday party or whatever the hell. And Karen was like, I don't give a damn about that. I'm 59 years old. I'm glad my husband called me today and told me happy birthday. He sent some roses over my way. Girl, I don't give a damn about no white birthday party. You do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't really care. I'm just glad to make it another year. So we'll see how that goes. But from the clips of the next episode, it looks like Mia ended up hosting that damn party, because it looks like they were all hanging out and they're all wearing white. So yeah, she's a clown. Mia is so clownish. I don't know what to say about that woman. She's a liar. She's an instigator. She's a drama queen. She's petty as hell. I just don't. I don't get it. It's really, really hard to like her. It's really hard to like her. That's my review. Thank you so much for tuning in. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.